So now suppose that an employee resigned and you want to delete their information from the system. How can you do that? To do that, I'm going to add here a button that's going to allow you to delete any employee from the system. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to head on over to the index, and in the index here we need to create a button similar to the edit button, but this time it's going to be delete button. So I'm going to copy this edit button, and then I'm going to paste it below, and I'm going to change many things. First, I'm going to change the class. The class is going to be here delete button, and then the URL is going to be delete employee, delete employee, and we need to get the ID. We need to pass the ID, and the button is going to say delete. Now in the CSS we need to create a class that's called delete. So in the CSS I'm going to create a new class here. I'm going to say dot delete button, and I'm going to say color. The color is going to be white, and the background color, I'm going to say background. So the background color is going to be red, and the text decoration is going to be none, and the padding is going to be 5px. And now what we need to do is that we need to create the URL. So in the URLs, I'm going to create a new URL here. I'm going to say path, and then I'm going to say delete employee, and then views.delete employee name. The name is going to be delete employee. Now we need to create the delete employee function in the views. So in the views, I'm going to say here in the views, I'm going to say def delete employee, and I'm going to pass the request, and also I'm going to pass the ID. But to pass the ID, we need to get the ID from the URLs. So from the URLs, we need to say here / and then int, and then employee ID, employee underscore ID, and then angular bracket. That way I will be able to pass the employee ID. And in the views, I'm going to say request and also the employee ID, employee underscore ID. Finally, I'm going to here delete the employee from the system. So to delete an employee from the system, first we need to get that employee from the system. And to get that employee from the system, we need to use the model. I'm going to say employee dot objects dot get, and then I'm going to use the primary key pk, and then employee ID, and then that way I'm going to be able to get the employee. Now that we have this employee, we can delete that employee. So here I'm going to say employee dot delete. This delete function is going to delete that employee from the system completely. And finally, I'm going to return. I'm going to say return, and then I'm going to redirect to the index, to the main page. Let me now save, and let me head on over to the browser to test. So the browser, let me refresh first. And now, as you can see, we have this delete button for each of these employees. So for example, suppose that I want to delete that employee from the system. If I click on delete, guess what? Let me click on delete and see what's going to happen. So if I click on delete, the employee is gone. So that employee is gone instantaneously and is no longer available in our system. So this delete button is going to delete that employee completely from the system, and you will not be able to get their information ever again.